Byron Donalds joins me now. Congressman, good to see you. You're going to be hearing testimony from Hunter's former business partner, a guy named Devon Archer, after all the revelations this week and that failed plea deal, et cetera. What are you going to be asking him?
Well, what's going to occur is he's going to come in for a transcribed interview. You're going to have attorneys from the Oversight Committee. His attorneys will be in the room, and it's going to be from the majority House Republicans and from the minority House Democrats, and they're going to question him. It's going to be under oath. It's actually going to be a sworn testimony. In terms of him testifying in open committee, that's yet to be determined if that's going to occur. But I think what's going to be clearly revealed is that Hunter Biden was the bag man. Joe Biden knew exactly what was going on and was involved, and the entire purpose was to shake down companies, shake down foreign countries for money, because the only thing that the Biden family has to sell is political influence. There's no other business with this family. That is public corruption. And for the Democrats to hide from this and to run away from this just demonstrates how silly they're being right now. Because the truth of the matter is that Joe Biden was selling access to his office through his son, and in my view, that is an impeachable offense.
And you think that Devon Archer has any specific evidence, hard evidence, beyond his word, to make that connection between Joe Biden and his son?
I believe he does. We're going to see how the investigation goes with him and his activities.
Okay.
And let's be very clear. We're at the point right now where we are trying to get financial information and get transactions from these companies like the CEFC in China or with Burisma through accounts that Hunter Biden and Devon Archer in part have managed, and then where were the payouts going?
Yes.
I personally believe that what was happening here was the Biden family, including Joe Biden, were living out of these corporate accounts, living lavishly, all while Joe Biden was at the highest level of our politics.
Okay, well, next one, Congressman, for you. Hunter is contradicting his dad's claim that no one in the family made money from China. Hunter told a federal judge one of his partners had ties to the CCP. Your colleague, Nancy Mace, says Biden is one of the most corrupt presidents in history, which you just said. Roll the tape.
Based on the evidence I've seen so far, I think the number is going to be north of $50 million that we're talking about here. This will go down as one of the most politically corrupt presidents and families in U.S. history. And we've got to show and prove it to the American people. We've got to show them everything that we have.
At the very least, Congressman, we know that what Joe Biden was saying about China just wasn't true, saying his son had nothing to do with China. How will that come up in the 2024 election?
It's going to come up big because Joe Biden has repeatedly lied on this. Everybody has known he's lied. But the problem is that big media has covered up for him, and you have members of our intelligence community were covering up for him. Let's not forget Tony Blinken, the current Secretary of State. That's the guy that created this letter of 51 intelligence officers saying that the laptop was Russian disinformation. That was a lie. They've repeatedly lied on this. But again, you can't be surprised. This is the same administration that was actually suppressing free speech of the American people using the weight of the White House and the other agencies to do so. So I think this is going to matter very big in the 2024 elections. It would be one thing if Joe Biden was actually doing a good job, but he's a terrible president, but he's also a corrupt president. Richard Nixon wishes he could have got away with stuff like this.
All right. Finally, Congressman, I want to bring it back to your home state on education. The DeSantis campaign is saying that you are sounding like Kamala Harris, our vice president, on your criticism of Florida's new slavery curriculum. I just want to know, what is the difference between your criticism of that curriculum and VP Harris's criticism?
Well, let's be very clear. I don't even have a criticism. This is a dumb story, and this is brought to us by the DeSantis campaign. They're the ones who made this an issue. I've been very clear that the standards are robust, they are accurate, they are good. Students in Florida will learn black history. But my issue is with one sentence of the entire thing, one sentence of 200 pages. And the DeSantis team wants to make a big issue out of it. That's ridiculous. And for people who are thinking about, well, where do I stand? Do I stand with Florida? I've always stood with Florida, did it when I was in the state legislature. I stand for Florida now as a member of Congress. I'm one of the members up here fighting hard against this radical agenda from the Biden-Harris administration. So my stance and where I am politically is very, very clear. But if I have an issue with one sentence, I'm allowed to have that. The fact that they made this a story is dumb, in my view.
Congressman, you tell it like it is. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Have a wonderful weekend. Appreciate you.